All right, guys, welcome back to this 18th threat Marvel Crisis Protocol battle report. Before we get into the list, I'd like to ask you to hit that like, subscribe, notification button. It really does help the channel grow. And I'd like to thank everybody who's done so already. Also, team up with local game store resets games. Click the link below. Go into their their e-store. Buy anything in the store does not have to be MCP related. Get 10% off your purchase. If all you gotta do is hit in the promo code or discount code Monster all caps. You get 10% on your purchase. They'll ship anywhere in the country, including Canada. Usually the 10% covers the shipping cost for the most part, but going into Canada might be a little bit more expensive. I always will tell you to support your local game store, but if you don't have a local game store, please use mine. Guys, I'm fighting coughing here, so bear with me. If I just go into a coughing fit, I'll try to edit that out. Also, we are playing in Recess again in one of their studios. So if you're getting an echo, I try to reverb it out. But if you're getting an echo, de-reverb it out. That's why. Still got some stuff going on at the house. We're almost there. We're getting pretty close. I'm hoping by next week we'll be able to get into there and start recording again, and at my house, because one, this is a pain in the butt to bring everything out. So let's get into the game. So Mephisto, one of my favorite villains in Marvel Comics. Mephisto, I just think it's a good character. If you're gonna build a villain, you might as well use Satan, right? I mean, he's the ultimate bad guy. So I know he's not Satan, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm bringing Mephisto. We are going to play his leadership, as you saw in the thumbnail. It is going to be Legion of the Lost, Mephisto's leadership. I'm also bringing Hood. Hood is now the new spirit of vengeance. So that's cool. So that's why I wanted to tie him into Mephisto. I'm bringing Ghost Rider, obviously, Johnny Blaze, and we know how he ties into Mephisto. And just because he's new, Abomination has no ties to Mephisto, but it's a new model. I wanted to get on the table just because it came out Friday.
Yeah.
What are we at today? Something. Yeah, it came out a couple days ago. So I wanted to get them on the table for you guys. Some new stuff. All my cards revolve around the devil. We have the Devil's Reckoning, which is his leadership. We'll go over the leadership on deployment. We also have Embrace the Inferno. Brand New Day, which is a story arc with Spider-Man and Mary Jane, as you can see on that card. It's actually a really good story arc. So if you haven't read it, read it. Ante up and deal with the devil for the Ghost Rider fans. So that's going to be my 18th threat. Let's go take a look at as someone commented, the Fearsome Foursome. I think that was a pretty good comment, so that's what we're going to refer to him as. All right, guys, before we get into it, Josh is back.
Hey, guys.
All right, Josh, what'd you bring?
All right, well, with us, the Fearsome Foursome, being Dracula and his thralls. So pretty straightforward. We have Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein, and Werewolf by Night. Cards, some recalibration matrix. Thralls of Dracula, which is the leadership. Again, we'll go over that in deployment. Hideous Monster, Phases of the Moon, and Service to Anubis.
All right, and guys, it is, like Josh said, it's the monster. It's not Frankenstein, it's the monster. Frankenstein was his creator. So, all right, we'll be back with the mission in deployment. All right, guys, we are back after the deployment. So the mission that we are playing is going to be Propaganda Pummel's Populace, which is going to be represented by these red tokens. Basically, what you do is you run up, you grab one of those red tokens. If you're not within range 2 of a character, you take a damage. And also in the cleanup phase, if you are within range 2 of a character, you get a point. You don't get to get multiple points. You only get to get 1 VP. So right now we have 9 points, possible 10 points between the both of us on the table at one time. 9 points per person if we can't grab all of it, but that's what's on the table. We also have Madmen, which are pay to flips. That's going to be represented by the blue tokens. Basically, if you you roll your defensive dice. Excuse me. You roll your defensive dice. If you get a hit crit or wild, you get to own that objective. And if you have someone within 2 of that objective, if you own it, it's basically a trap. That individual takes damage. So you are going to be the blue player. I'm going to be the red player. We'll back this out so we can see the board. All right, so basically you guys have seen all this terrain before because the 3D printer is not online at the moment. So you're not getting any new stuff except when Kirk comes over or all these other guys bring their stuff over. So we have those big buildings are going to be 5s. We have all the little stuff in here are going to be 3s, the comic book shop 3, daily grind, and the daily bugle. Roxton's is going to be a 4. All the little stuff like this is going to be 1s. The dumpsters are 2, the barriers are 2, the cars are 2, the dump truck is a 4 as well. Stanley is 100, so you cannot throw Stanley at all. So we're going to customize this before we get into the billboard. We're going to customize this game a little bit. So instead of these little things, we put this on and for more of an aesthetic look to make it look better. These little things here. If we are throwing the daily grind at somebody, we are not going to stop it at the garbage can. We are just going to break the garbage can as well, not let a building break or stop at a garbage can. But we are going to keep it stopping the normal rules on the trees and on the poles and posts and everything, and on all the other stuff. So what is not going to count as being able to stop terrain is the phone booth, the mailbox, the garbage can, the soda can, or the soda machine, ice machine, and the paper. Stanley is also not going to prevent this from being thrown as well. We're just going to be able to throw it over top of Stan. We just can't throw Stan. Now we'll talk about this billboard. Basically, I do these for members and subscribers. So Nicholas Gardner, you were the guy that I pulled out of the hat this week. Of course, you got Mephisto because we're debuting Mephisto out today. Basically, do these for subscribers. If you guys leave a message, comment below, and you comment politely, tell us we forget a rule, compliment the game, whatever you're going to do, as long as it's polite, as long as it's constructive, I will throw your name in a hat. And then I'll pick it out, and then I will feature you on a billboard just to show you some love and appreciation. I appreciate everybody who watches and subscribes. Also, if you become a member, which starts at 99 cents, you want to support the channel, I will actually send you a billboard with your name on it as a gift from the channel to you, just for supporting me in the show. And again, I appreciate that. So that's what we got going on, Nicholas. I hope you're a Mephisto fan because this whole game is about Mephisto today. I think that is it. We'll talk about the leadership. I'll let you talk since I've been talking for 5 minutes straight here.
All right, so for Dracula, we have the Thralls of Dracula. Once per turn during the character's activation, it may choose an enemy character within range 2. The chosen enemy character gains bleed. If the chosen character already has bleed, the character takes 1. If the chosen character already has bleed, the allied character may remove 1 damage from himself,
which is pretty good. Mephisto's leadership is called Damnation. Basically, in the cleanup phase, I ask
Josh.
Thank you, Josh. My mind went blank, dude. I asked Josh if he gets to pick a character. That character gains a power and also will gain the Incinerate condition. He cannot pick a character that has the Incinerate condition or has immune to Incinerate. He's not allowed to do that. And then in turn, I do get to give 2 power to each, 1 power per guy twice onto my characters. So that's going to happen. Well, if we go 5 rounds, it's going to happen 5 rounds. If we go 6 rounds, it will happen 6 times. If it happens once, it will happen once. So that happens all the time. So yeah, you did have priority, sir. So what would you like to do?
All right. Well, you'll have the amazing Werewolf by Night,
Jack Russell, which I think is funny.
We're basically just going to run up here, pay his 1 power, pick the token up. He will officially take 1 damage. However, he will end his turn in healing factor
That 1 damage.
Or 1 damage.
All right. Well, I think what we will do is, I'm going to go with Abomination, and I'll take Abomination is a medium mover. We're going to just jump up here. I am within 2 of that, so I'm going to spend my 1 power. Abomination does get 2 powered, so I'm going to spend both of those and try to flip that point. And it was defensive dice, correct? So it's 4 defensive dice.
Yes. Hit crits and one.
And I got it. Got a hit and a crit. So I will then flip this point. And you are up, sir. I'll use these little, I don't remember where these are from, but I'm using these little fire tokens.
I think we will just go ahead and activate Mummy. You will unsurprisingly end up over here behind the building. He will pay his 1. He will pick up the token and take a damage. We'll end it for Mummy.
Okay, and real quick, Josh, and Mummy gets captured soul tokens.
Yes.
So that allows him to do superpowers.
Yes.
And for those who didn't watch it my last battle rep, what does this captured soul tokens? How do you get them?
So he can get them whenever a character, so enemy and friend, is dazed or KO, he gains a token. And then during his spender, Sever Soul, he gets to a token as long as he deals damage.
Okay, and then Mephisto gets I forget what they're called. Deal. And then Mephisto gets Devil Deal tokens. He starts the game with one of those. He also gets them on his builder. There's several ways he can get them, and as we go through the game, that actually will do power, heal, for Mummy by Night. For Mummy and Mephisto, those extra powers. We will let you guys know when it happens and how they would work. So I'm going to take Mephisto, and we're just going to move him up. I'll double move him just to get back here. And I'll spend the 1, pick that up. Oops, wrong guy. And damage.
Okay. We'll move Frank. Or we'll move the monster. Let me see. I think that's it. He is then going to pay him, and then he's got to try and flip his point. He's got 1. He got it.
All right.
I'll get a marker here, and that will end it for Frank.
All right. I think what we're going to do is take Hood and move him up there, and then I'm just going to double move him to here, just within range 1 of this. And we'll spend his 1, and we'll try to flip it with his 2 dice. And he does. He gets a hit. So we have this one flipped as well. And he is done.
Okay. That will be track.
Dracula getting into the fray. Let's see if you can showcase him a little bit better than I did last year. He did score me 9 points, but
yeah, I was like, he did showcase how to score.
He did show how to play the game.
He's
easily,
good there.
Easily.
And then I think for his second action, he's just going to end up in the middle there.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right, and then Ghost Rider, I think what we'll do is see if I can get Ghost Rider on your side and see if I can steal a point from you. All right, and we'll try to flip that. And Ghost Rider has 3 dice.
Okay.
And he does not.
All right.
The rider does not. Come on, Johnny Blaze. All right, so that would be the turn. You had priority. What did you score, sir?
I am holding 2 points in 2 secure, so I score 4.
Okay, and you are holding 2 points, you said?
Yeah, 1, 2.
And secures?
And then 2 cubes.
Okay, so you're gonna get an extra point for these being within 2.
I should get 2 extra points.
It's only 1.
Is it only?
Yeah, it's only 1.
Okay, so then I'll get 1 for 5.
And then I'm gonna be 4, and I am not within. Abomination and Mephisto are not within 2 of each other, so it's only 4, and we will move to round 2, and we will be back after the cleanup, or power up, I should say. All right, guys, we're back after the power up phase. So let me kind of explain what happened. So I got to make a deal with Josh for Damnation, and he had picked Werewolf by Night to be incinerated and also to get the extra power. In turn, I gave the power to Hood, and I also gave the power to Abomination. And what else did we have to do there?
1 trap went off here. Yep. Ghost Rider took a damage because he was standing by the trap.
Exactly, and that's where we lie.
Yep. All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and activate Werewolf by Night. And then I'm going to play his card, the Phases of the Moon. So I may choose one of the effects. I'm going to choose New Moon.
Okay.
And what that does is if he is holding or contesting an objective, he gets to re-roll one of his defense dice.
Totally opposite of what I played last time. And that happens for the rest of the game, guys.
Yes.
It is not a one-time game card.
And he's going to walk up here.
Oh, sure. Come out the hood.
And then I am going to do a Savage Slash into Hood.
And I have 2 dice.
This will be physical. And then you could gain bleed. So
that's pretty good.
1 crit.
Save 2.
Yeah, if you save 2, you're pretty good. You take 1.
All right. Did you explode the crit already?
Yeah, I did explode the crit. It was a blank.
And I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing not to turn.
Yes, I did 1 damage. And you picked up bleed. I'm already within 1.
So with Hood, guys, he doesn't automatically turn. It's possessed by. I don't have my glasses on, but it doesn't. I don't have 2 turn. It just says
it is a May.
It is a May.
All right. Then at this point, I will pay 3 for the superpower pounce.
Okay.
And I am size
3.
Size 3. So yeah, 4 damage coming in.
Saved 1. Saved 1. So take a 3.
This takes 3. And then I will pay 1 to try and flip the point. Yeah. 2
to get it.
I flip it.
Just put it next to him.
Yeah, for now. And then that will end Werewolf by Night.
All right, I'm going to go with Abomination. And I'm going to start by, I'm within 3 of Frank, the monster. So I'm going to do Hurl Debris, which is going to be a 5 dice physical attack. Going into him after this, I will gain a power. So 2 crits.
Gross.
So it looks like I'm doing 4.
Frank will block 1 and take 3.
I think he reduces, right?
No.
No?
The mummy does. He has a special power to heal himself.
So I get 1 power for that. All right, on the second activation, we're going to spend 4, and we're going to do the Gamma Bomb. And that is going to be 8 dice. It costs 4 power. It's going to be 8 dice. And he will get the poison condition, and I get to move closer to him, and there is a throw on the wild. So, got the crit off. That was not good. That was a miss. So just 2. 3, I'm sorry.
Well.
2. No, just 2.
Just 2.
Yep.
I'm not blocking any, so he's going to take 2.
Taking 2, I did not get the throw off, but I do get to place within 1. So I'm going to place right here. I don't have any more power to flip it, so I am done.
All right. Well, that was a beating into Frank. So
not really.
well, for Frank,
I guess it was. It's 7. It's how much I do? 3 damage.
No, you do 5.
All
right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Frank. I'm gonna pay 3. Actually, no. I'm gonna pay 4 and do a Monster's Fury into Abomination.
Okay.
So this is starts at 6 dice, but then I get to add dice equal to the amount of damage I have.
All right.
So I have to borrow 1 dice from you.
Sure. 4 dice for me.
Oh, that was terrible.
Saved 1.
Well, I only did 4, so you take 3
6.
damage.
All right, I do reduce, so I'm taking 2.
Okay.
Abomination does have a reduce.
Okay, and now are you size 4 or less?
I am size 4.
All right, then I will throw you into the building.
All right.
Off the point.
All right.
So you take 1 more. And then I will just directly do a Frank's Fist into you.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and you did do damage on that, so
yes.
Ghost Rider will get 1. Still physical, right?
Yeah.
1 so far. Save 1.
Okay, I only do 2, so you take 1
Take
damage.
1. And cannot reduce to 0, so we'll take 1.
And that will give me the 3 power I need to pay for Frank's Rampage. And I will throw the truck at you.
Size 4?
Size 4.
All right, see if he blocks it. Blocks 1, so it takes 3.
Okay.
And that will be enough to get Abomination. This falls out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he only needed, he took 3, right?
Yep.
I just needed 2 to drop, and that's what I ended up taking because the reduce.
Okay, I did not expect Frank to take Abomination.
I mean, hit pretty hard.
He did hit pretty hard. Way to spike there, Frank. Well, I will say it came down right to Monster's Fury where I get to add dice based on the damage I have.
Right.
Which was already 5 because you hit me in the face. So.
All right, so I'm going to activate Mephisto. And I'm going to spend 2 for Can I Be of Service, which is actually pretty cool. So basically what I'm going to do, pick an enemy character within 3. I'm going to pop up within range 1, which I'm going to put right here. And then I'm going to, and a part of that attack is I get to do where am I at here? I get to do an Inferno Bargain, which is going to be 6 dice Mystic. That was pretty good. So we did 6.
Okay, I got 3. All right, that means Frank will take the last 2 and go down.
All right. And I do get a Devil's Deal token. All right, guys. So on... forgot where we left off. All right, so Mephisto then dazed Frank. So now what I'm going to do is... The monster, I'm sorry. I'm going to spend my 1 power, and I'm going to try to flip that point, which is going to be 3 defensive dice. I do get it.
Yep.
And so we'll get a little token for that. Put that there, and then what we'll do on his first activation, actually, move him here, get within 1 of the mummy, or I'm sorry, within 3 of the mummy. Then I'm gonna do a Hellfire Lash, which is going to be 6 dice, and it's going to be 6 dice energy, and in a while they'll get incinerate.
Okay.
Did get incinerate, only hitting 2.
Saved
them both. But he is incinerated. And I do get a power off of that. And then what I'm going to do is spend that 1 power I just got and one of my Devil's Deal tokens that I got. And I'm going to play Devil's Due, which this is choose an enemy character, which is going to be the mummy. Within 3, and I may spend 1 Devil's Deal token, which I did. I'm going to roll 5 dice, and for each crit I roll, the character loses power, and for each hit I roll, the character then suffers a wound. So I can only use this power once per round. So here we go. Going into the mummy. So loses 1 power and loses 3. That takes 3 damage. And I get nothing, but he is done. Pretty solid turn from Mephisto.
Yep. I will go ahead and going to go with Drac. Let's end up over here.
Beating on the hood.
Yeah. Well, he does have bleed. I mean, kind of. So I'm getting an Ancestral Blade.
Didn't you gave me bleed last time, right? On the wolf attack.
Well, yeah, from Werewolf by Night. Yeah, he gave you the bleed. So in this case, yeah, this will just be the Ancestral Blade on a wild. I can give a condition.
Like 2. Did more than you needed.
Did quite a few.
I only needed 1 to drop, so take 1.
Okay.
Dracula beating up on.
And that will end it for wolves. Drac.
Okay, so did damage to Abomination.
Well, the only one that I just was Hood. You already gave Ghost Rider for all this.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so you just the one
just
for Hood.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to activate Ghost Rider, and I'm going to try to flip that point before I do anything. 3 power. 3 dice, and I do get it, barely. And I think I'm going to move this really for a minute and go. All right. And then what we'll do is, what's the one we have left to drop?
1.
1? All right, so we will go, we will spend 3 for Hell on Wheels, and we're going to advance him a long. Get him here. All right, and then we're going to go into the mummy with Chains of Damnation, which is going to be energy, and it's going to be 6 dice.
Got it.
Just 2. Looks like you saved the 2. He is hex though.
Okay.
All right, and then so it blocked them both. So we'll do that again on his second activation. So guys, real quick, if you haven't played Ghost Rider, Hell on Wheels is a superpower. All right, and then so we go. So 6 dice energy again. 3.
Blocking 2. Do I want to use my rerolls here? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and spend my 2 soul tokens to reroll these. Come on. Blocking only 1. Still taking the 2, and then that will kick out.
All right, and then I'll spend my last power and pick that up.
Actually, he would have died. Yeah, I couldn't because you had hex, but that's fine. I didn't explode the crit.
Yeah. All right, and that would be it for Ghost Rider.
That's it for the turn.
Oh yeah.
I get to keep priority though.
All right. So at the end of the turn, you had priority. What'd you score?
I'm scoring 1, 2, 3 points because Drac is next to Wolfman.
So that's going to be 8.
Yep.
I got 1, 2, 3 blues and 2 reds. So that's going to put me at what is that?
1, 2,
5.
3, yeah, 5.
That's going to put me at 9.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move to round 2. I'm sorry, round 3, and we'll be back after the power up phase. All right, guys, we are back after the power up. So real quick, Nobody took damage because the dazed characters by this stuff were dazed, so that doesn't happen. Mephisto's leadership, the damnation choice, happens in the cleanup phase. So since since the mummy had one on him already, and he was dazed, and so did Werewolf by Night. He had to put it on Dracula, gave Dracula the power. I didn't give mine to anybody yet, so we're gonna give it to. I think we're gonna give it to. Let's go with Mephisto and Ghost Rider. That was my part of the deal. And then, yeah, I think that's where we're at. Anything else we had to do?
No, I think that was
in
it.
the power phase?
No
All right.
trades, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we got going on. So,
Okay.
you have priority, sir.
All right, we are going to activate Dracula, and we're going to do a Fury of the Vampire into the Hood.
The Hood is not going to play today, apparently.
Then after this attack is resolved, there is a throw, so there's no conditions.
Okay, is this a mystic attack?
Yes. So yeah,
Right.
you get to pay.
Do I get to pay for rerolls, right? I get 3.
Yes. So now you get to roll 3 dice and re-roll anything.
Okay. All right,
Whoa,
that's pretty solid.
that's-
I'll roll these anyway. All right, so I saved 1. I don't know if you had a reroll or not. So
I don't know if I can. That was pretty.
Dracula whiffed on that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you are thrown, so at least throw you into the car.
All right,
Take 1.
take 1 damage.
Well,
There's nothing like getting ready to do something big and then whiffing.
yeah, that was great. So I guess you know what? On that, I'm just gonna swing again. This will just be in
Physical.
yeah. This one will now be physical and ancestral blade. So,
Save 0.
I did 4.
4. All right. I cannot re-roll that because it is not a mystic attack. So I will take 4 damage. And that will actually take him out of the game.
Oh, okay.
Let's hold on a second.
I have headaches.
All right, and Hood is out of the game. Thanks for playing. Thanks for stopping.
Okay.
Have fun.
That ends Draken. He spent.
All right, well, since you beat up on my day's character,
Oh, I got that.
I'm going to have to try to beat up on your day's character and go with Abomination. Let's see. So I'm going to start with Abomination, and I'm going to actually just spend 4 right off the rip, and I'm going to do Gamma Bomb, which is going to be 8 dice into the monster. And yeah, this is going to be physical. So he's going to do, looks like 5.
Gonna block 1. Do I want to pay for it? You know, I'm going to pay for 3 and play Recalibration Matrix, so we both just re-roll our dice.
All right. So 8 dice again. I don't explode crits on this though.
Correct.
Well, I actually did better.
Crap.
I did 6.
All right, well, I blocked 2, so I will take 4.
All right, taking 4 on that, and you're poisoned. And I don't think I got the wild off on that one, so I do not throw you. However, I will move closer to you. And I will then spend... I'm going to spend 3 just to... What's he have left?
3 left.
I'm going to spend 3 for Radiation Zone. And each enemy within 2 with the poison condition suffers 2 damage from the character within 2 poison condition. Each character gains the poison condition. Okay, so
It just takes 2 more.
just take 2 more damage.
Okay.
And each enemy character. I had to make sure it wasn't Mephisto. And then on a second activation, we are just going to strike them, I think. And it's going to be 7 dice. 7 dice physical into the monster. So I got 3.
I'm blocking 2. Come on, monster. Blocking 2. He will take 1, and that is enough.
Take 1, and
there's nothing I can do about that anymore.
Alrighty, and then he is. You took 2 on that.
Just 1.
Just 1 on it. All right, so he's gonna be done. All right, guys. With Frank being dazed, I'm gonna play a brand new day. By Mephisto. He's reactive. So when an enemy character is dazed and you're within 3 of Mephisto, which he was, I get to give Josh the choice. He can either bring the character, bring Frankenstein back with, or bring the monster back with 1 wound, remove all the conditions off of them, and I'll get 2 Devil Deal tokens from Mephisto, and I would get to take the activation token off of Abomination. Or his other choice is I can remove the damage from Mephisto and any special conditions, and I gain 3 power on Mephisto. So, Josh, what deal would you like to do?
Well, we're going to take option 2 because in this scenario that we see ourselves, Frank had not activated yet, so he would still be able to activate, but there's no reason to let Abomination run wild again. And in this case, you only have 1 damage on you, so we'll go ahead and take option 2, let you remove 1 damage and gain some extra power. I'm okay with that.
All right, so Mephisto now loses his damage and gains an extra 3 power.
Yep.
Now it is your turn, sir.
All right.
It's actually pretty cool. Like Josh did not have a choice on that. That is a card that I played, and he had to take the deal.
Yeah, it's like, well, I have a choice. I just don't.
I don't like any.
I don't like any of my options. We're gonna activate the mummy. He's gonna basically walk up here next to Mephisto, sorry, and make sure he's within.
Wrong game.
Yeah, wrong evil doer. Okay, so he's within 2 of Ghost Rider, and then within 2 of Abomination and Mephisto.
Every Blood Angel fan was like, yeah, Mephisto.
Yes. All right, and then I'm going to spend all 6 power to play the Service of Anubis. Okay.
All right.
So this the range of this attack is equal to the number of captured soul tokens I have, which is 2.
Yep.
Which is why we're measuring range 2. I add dice equal to this attack roll as part of the amount of power I spent to play this card. So this will be a 6 dice attack. Then on a wild and a hit, I get to give you a hex.
All right. So who are you going first?
Let's go into Ghost Rider first.
Ghost Rider. All right. Who is immune to hex, but it's okay. What is it? Physical?
This is Mystic.
Mystic. So this is 4 dice for Ghost Rider. Saved 2 so far. That was a crit. Just save 2.
I only did 2, so Ghost Rider's fine.
All right.
And then we'll go into Mephisto.
Mephisto is a 4 dice as well. Oh, 2 crits. That was a pretty solid roll for Mephisto. 4.
Okay, I've got 1 crit. All right, so I have 4. I am going to go ahead and pay 1 of these tokens for Undead Empowerment. So during the modified...
Wait, hold on.
I'll go ahead and spend 1 of the one of the tokens for Undead Empowerment. So during the modified device step, I may spend a token, and I may count 1 skull result as a wild.
Okay.
So that means I get 5. So you can take 1.
Take 1.
And you will pick up hex.
All right, Mephisto gets 1 and hexed.
And then
Abomination.
Into Abomination. All right, come on, money.
And he's only got 3 of this one.
Just 1.
Save 1.
Wow, that is horrendous. I'm going to spend my other token to count this skull as a success. So then you will take 1.
Take 1. All right.
And pick up hex again.
And pick up hex on Abomination.
All right, not quite what I expected, but
what was the wild and hit thing?
They pick up hex.
Oh, okay.
If they had a wild and hit. So.
All right.
That was not quite what I wanted, but
it was not ideal.
The end of the mummy.
But we will give Ghost Rider a power because you damaged Abomination. All right, I'm gonna activate Ghost Rider. I'm gonna spend 3. I'm gonna do Hell on Wheels, which is basically an advance long. So we're just going to just bring him up here so that he is within range 3 of all these guys here. Moving back just a little bit. Within range 3. And then we will. Then we are going to do Chains of Damnation into Dracula first, which is going to be an energy attack. And it's going to be 6 dice. Whoops, that one doesn't count. So only hitting 2.
Okay, I got Incinerate, so blocking 0, so
All
taking
right.
2.
Josh, you throw that dice over here, please.
What's that?
That dice right there. Flung over.
Yeah.
Taking 2.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to get 2 power for that. That is not enough to do what I wanted to do. So what we'll do is we will.
Well, if that ends your attack, I'm going to use Eternal Hunger. Are you within range 2? No, so I guess I'm not. Okay. Yeah, because none of... Oh, wait, no, actually, yeah, I can pay 2. And then I can pay 4 for Fury of the Vampire. So I can hate you back.
All right.
So this will be 8 dice Mystic, and you do not have Bleed, so...
8 dice Mystic? That's
yeah.
4 dice for me.
And then I get a throw, so okay.
Saved 1.
Ooh, wow. I got...
That's pretty good. 5 so far.
Here's the 4 extra crits.
Nice.
Okay, so it looks like 7.
That will... oh, just enough to get him.
I was like, I have a throw, too.
Just enough to get him. All right, so he's going to daze, and that's going to fall out.
All right, well, we'll just kick it over here. There.
All right, you are up, sir.
All right, well, the only guy I have left is Werewolf, and he's already carrying one. Over here. Have to do a double move. And then he's just going to pay 1 to try and flip the point. And he does.
All right, pretty easily.
That ends it for me.
All right, well, it gives... we are now going to Mephisto.
Did keep his inspiration.
And Mephisto then will obviously go into the mummy. And we will spend 2 for, can it be a service, which is basically just him going on this other side here, still staying within 2 of Abomination, but getting a little bit closer over here. And then along with that comes a 6 attack mystic called Infernal Bargain, and 1 crit. So just 3.
Oh, he's got 1 crit. So he will take 2, reduce by 1, and take 1.
Alrighty. And that will give me a Devil's Deal token. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to spend 1, and that's going to be we're going to be the Devil's Due. So I'm going to roll 5 dice again. On a crit, he loses a power. On a hit, he loses damage. So 2 damage.
Okay.
And what's he have left?
He's got 2 left. Actually, no, he would reduce by 1, so he has 3 left.
Is that an attack or does it?
It just says whenever he would suffer damage.
Cool. All right.
So just reduce by 1.
All right. So then we will do the first attack into him, which is going to be the Hellfire Lash, which is going to be 6 dice energy.
Okay.
That's pretty solid. So it looks like 5.
I'm gonna block 1, take 1, and 4 will do it. Yep.
We'll do it. Alrighty. And then Mephisto then will, that's his second action. But that was his first action, so he's just going to, how many did I do on it?
2 on the last attack.
I only gained 1 anyway. All right, so Mephisto is going to be done, I think, right there. And yeah, that's going to do it for my turn.
Yep. Just grab my 30.
All right, so you had priority again. So
Yep.
what'd you score?
So this time I'm scoring 3 again. I hold 2 positions and one objective.
All right, so 3. So that's going to put you at 11. I'm holding 1, 2, 3, and then I got a character within 2, so it's going to be 4. So it's going to put me at 15. We'll go to round 6, and we'll do it on camera. Who are you choosing? Well, they're both incinerated, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was like, I can't choose anyone else.
So I will choose Abomination and Ghost Rider. And we'll be back after the power-up phase. All right, guys, we're back after the power-up. Real quick correction. On that last mummy roll, him losing power on Devil's Due is actually a wild, not a crit. I said a crit, but it was actually a wild. So he would have had a power, but the damage ended up killing him anyway. So, yep. All right, sir, you are up.
All righty. Well, for the last turn here, I'm going to go ahead and activate Dracula. He will pay 1 and pick up the token and take a damage. And then he's going to pay 1 to shapeshift into a wolf. So he may do a long move.
Okay.
And then for a second action, he will just straight up and run the point here. And then he will pay 1 to try and flip this point. And he does.
He does, pretty simply.
But excitingly, you have a lot of characters to go.
Well, we're going to go with, yeah, that is interesting. I think what we're going to do is, are you outside of Mephisto? No. Okay, cool. Well, we'll go with Mephisto on Dracula. We'll see how this works. So again, we will spend 2 for Can I Be of Service? So I'm going to pop up within one of you. And we're going to do an Infernal Mystic attack, 6 dice Mystic. So it's going to really be good. So I'm hitting 6 times.
Whoa, I block 1. I take 5.
And if he can incinerate, he gets incinerated.
No, that will take him out.
All right. I think at that point of the game, unless you guys want to play it out, or you want to?
No, I think everyone sees where this is going.
All right, so I think we can probably pretty much call it on being at 16 to whatever. So interesting game. Really interesting game because me and you really don't play for people.
Yes.
We like to have that extra guy to do some of the utility stuff. But we were 4-on-4 today. How do you feel first game with the monsters? Forgive me your and you played me the other day.
Yes. Yeah, I think overall I think the monsters are a good list. I think we'll see a lot of Dracula and Thralls without all 4 monsters. As a team, you're a little bit limited right there at that 17 threat point. I think they all play well together. They all heal well together. I think they are a huge boost to Midnight Suns.
Mm-hmm. Not that they needed it.
Right. Not that Midnight Suns really needed it. But I don't see a lot of, because we did play 1 threat down, and I know the score's a little high, but if you look at really what happened in the game, you just made it to the middle first,
right,
before I got to collapse in on the middle. So I don't think it was really, your heavy hitters versus, doing more damage there. I think that you just beat me to the middle and got the points lead on this game.
Right.
Overall, do I see monsters being popular? Again, you're locked at 17 threat, so unless you have some really good, friends to play with.
Yeah, I mean, you could if you go up to a 20 threat, you can bring obviously one more 3
Yeah,
to make it a little bit maybe a little bit more like maybe even someone like the Hood or something, make it a little bit more utility. I
Yes.
actually think they do need personally now about 3-4 games in, knee jerk reaction. I think they don't play the mission very well.
No, I would agree. I think they need a little bit of mobility somewhere.
Dracula plays the mission, but Frankenstein doesn't, in my
Right.
opinion.
Correct.
Frankenstein's monster is so far in at least our 2 games that we've showed, he has not done. I mean, did not Days Abomination.
He did a little bit of Abomination,
but he doesn't. He's not super great.
I think what happens is you get in a mix where with 4 characters, you tend to want to collapse, only have like 3 secures or 3 extracts, keep the board smaller. And Frank will play into that.
Right.
The problem is monsters don't have a lot of support. They can heal themselves, but other teams that also want to play center heavy, like Asgardians,
right.
like even this team with some big heavy hitters, the monsters aren't going to hold up that well because outside of the Mummy, they don't have much defensive tag.
Right, and they do heal a lot, but it's not. It's just not enough. If you noticed in this particular game, because we featured Werewolf by Night last game,
right,
and he did a lot, I didn't come anywhere near him. I only gone in one time.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Because I know what he can do, and he's good. Interesting for me is when we look at Mephisto and we look at Abomination. Mephisto is so my biggest gripe being a combo guy. I don't think Mephisto's a high enough threat. I still don't think Mephisto's a high enough threat. I think he does do a lot for a 5 threat. I think he's powerful. When you set the bar at a higher level, like Immortal Hulk and Dormammu and Malekith all being 7s, 8s, Thanos being up in that range, I think Mephisto is easily top 3, even a 5 of the most powerful villains in the MCU. Or I'm sorry, in comic books. In this game, they don't do it this way. I think he will play well though into a small, wide list. He played well into this list, but I think he'll play a lot better in a wide list.
Yeah,
where he can just pop up, be of service, and take out. This is where he's going to be. This is where he's going to be powerful. Popping up, taking out 3 threats, and 4 threats.
Oh yeah, he's a great sniper character with that ability to move in and do damage as part of a superpower. Right,
for 2.
I mean, it's pretty cheap. He's got okay defense with his contracts and some pretty good cards. I really like him. I think Abomination is great. He's the poor man's Hulk here.
We talked about earlier, Josh, and I agree with you. You said this. Abomination is going to be splashed in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's really, really good.
Yeah, I think he's amazing for what he does at 5 threat. Even I know people are like, ooh, but for what he can output, not the best showcase here. Again, he was only taking out Frankenstein's monster and a little bit of other stuff, but he did it with ease.
Yeah,
it wasn't like you're rolling a lot of dice, gritting your teeth, hoping he's gonna score well. It was, I'm gonna walk over you now. Yeah. Next turn, I'm gonna do it again.
For someone who doesn't play Hydra, you play Hydra.
Yes.
This was a huge boost.
Huge boost to Hydra. Hydra likes to go wide. They have a lot of lower threat characters. They don't have a huge damage dealer native to their list. And I think that brings exactly what they needed. So, and everybody else who's light in that department, I think you're going to start splashing Abomination right in there because, again, at 5 threat for what he does is pretty good.
I can't undersell or oversell enough the 5 threat he is. He's a 5 threat, and he does what Hulk does at a 5 threat.
Yeah.
What is Juggernaut?
Juggernaut's a 6.
And he does.
No, sorry, Juggernaut's a 5.
Is he a 5?
6. Yeah, Juggernaut's a 5.
So I think he really, if you splash Juggernaut and stuff, I think you're definitely splashing in Abomination. I'm not sure I can't remember. Does Juggernaut reduce? I think he does.
Juggernaut does have a reduce, yeah. And
I don't know. Does he throw enough? Does he throw as many dice as Abomination?
No, that's where Abomination, I think, and this is where we can see, from a games developer perspective, right? If you take Jugs, he's rolling on average about 2 less dice than Abomination. The difference with Juggernaut, though, is he can actually throw people.
Right.
Where Abomination, is limited to buildings. But still, again, if you look at a 3-year-old 5 threat versus a brand new 5 threat, on average, Abomination rolls about 2 more dice.
And again, we think things through mono faction, and him being he doesn't fit in this list very well. I mean, he fits in any list, but he doesn't go with the theme that I have playing in this list. But Hydra getting Abomination, really big, like really, really, really big, in my opinion. Again, like Mephisto, Dracula has seemed in every game that I've played so far, and it's been a handful, Dracula has been very underwhelming, in my opinion.
Yes.
In my opinion. He has not been everybody thinks we're going to include him all the time. We're going to splash him in our competitive list because he can do so much. But he just falls short a little bit, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you.
When I look at his card, I'm like, he should be way better than he is.
I think a lot of it is right now people are still playing Dracula as the leader with that thrall ability.
Right.
I think once we kind of move away from that, and again, once you don't have to take the Mummy, Werewolf by Night, and the Monster to play the Thralls, right? I think once you bring Dracula with more of a support cast, the monsters really play as 4 individual people. Right. Frank is kind of a bodyguard to help out, but really you have 3 people who are kind of going to walk forward and punch pretty decent.
Exactly.
The drawback being Drac himself can't stand up to a punch back a lot of times, where the Mummy can, Frank can, just because he has a high damage.
Although that clack back on the Daredevil on the
you can see where he has his potential. So I think what we see right now is while he's in monsters, he does be lackluster. But I think once he starts playing outside of monsters, I think then he'll be an appropriate 5 threat. I mean, he's really Blade 2.0. So if you're playing Midnight Suns, where you're passing out bleed from other means, he's a mean guy. Right. In monsters without support.
Yeah. In the Fearsome Foursome.
Right. Yeah. He's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, thanks for coming on again. And guys, we got more coming. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's coming. We want to get more stuff on the table. And God bless. Peace out.